Welcome back, everybody. Today I want to talk about why Weiss Schwarz does not care about your concerns. I actually do 100% mean that. That is because of the number down below. You can see 7,261. Does anybody out there want to take a guess at what that number actually means? For those of you that don't want to take a guess, that is because this is the TCG unit net sales for fiscal year 2023. Quarter four net sales of 7,261 million yen. Year over year, 1,923 million yen. Why this is important is because when things are going well, you don't have to concern yourself with random people on the internet saying things are actually bad. People like me. You can just ignore my videos for 2.5 years because it's just easier that way. So as I zoom out here, you can see this bar chart. This thing is the highest it's ever been. If you were in those ivory towers, as Rudy would say, would you be one of those people that says, oh my God, we got record sales. What's wrong? What's going on here? What can we do to make things better? Are you going to be stopping off, getting some champagne, and opening that up and taking a nice swig of it? And I think that's what's actually going on here. Because you can see off here to the left, this TCG market expanded significantly over fiscal year 2023. So we got high growth in Japan, we got growth abroad, we have a marked record high quarterly sales because of a number of major card merchandise. So we got over here Disney 100, that thing was outstanding. Lycoris Recoil, they even put Weiss Schwarz Blau here. If you people don't think they're selling a ton of them, there's Weiss Schwarz Blau. And then they also talk about the rollout of Shadowverse Evolve. Now, the different kind of concerns that I've been talking about over the last 2.5 years, right? Dead product. I'm talking about stuff that people open, sell off to the other people. I've talked to you about people flipping cards, people going and undercutting local game stores. People want to talk about players. Well, what we tried to do for players, right, was give out tournament store PR packs. But what's actually happening here with this tournament store PR packs? They're being sold by people that don't actually run events on eBay. They're selling them on TCG Player and wherever else you can buy actual cards. We have the lack of signatures. We have a secondary market that is feeling the pain. We have product that is being sold in Japan that people don't expect to come to English, and it comes out to English, and then people get really upset about it because now they have to buy it twice. You have other people concerned about gold signatures, silver signatures. There is a bevy of problems, and I feel like it doesn't really ever get addressed. And then I think about this whole quarterly statement, year over year. You see this right here. What this screen is showing, this red segment on this bar chart is actually the amount of sales for TCG cards year over year. And as you can see, without zooming in here and looking at actual numbers, that red is a lot bigger than 2022, 2021, 2019. We have a lot of actual data, and it just shows to them. If you were sitting there in corporate looking at these numbers, what would you say? You're going to be saying, we did one hell of a good job. There's no need for any sort of change. And I will say, before I move on even further, that, you know what, Kidani put out there a request for a survey because people are having some issues. There were some complaints. This happened on August 22nd. That date is relatively important. I'll get back to that date when I talk about the stock price. But right here, you can see there is going to be a survey already which has been conducted, but we will have the results in December at their conference. If they don't make any sort of changes based on that or have any sort of action items, you're going to get the exact same video I showed today. I'm going to tell you that Bushiroad Weiss Schwarz does not care about your opinion at all. There's so many things that are broken about it, but there's a lot of things that they could possibly do to fix it, right? You have stores being undercut. And I know people want to talk about players aren't feeling the support and all of that stuff. Let's just stop before we even get there. There are other places inside of the United States, let's say 45 other states anyways, that don't have stores that are relatively close. They don't actually sell the product because you have other people selling online. And because of that price competition, they're not going to care about players. Their main goal of a local game store, right, for most part, is they're going to want to sell product. And if they can't sell product, why carry the stuff at all? Why do you want players in there? Yeah, they could pay a fee to play some events, but really, is that cutting it at the end of the day? Now, going over here, I love how Weiss Schwarz, right? They talk about the boom. Overseas sales steadily grew continuously fiscal year 2022 when significant growth was achieved in major merchandise and due to booming. Yes, the boom is real, and they definitely capitalized on it by putting out a ton of releases. Release after release after release in Japan, and then you also had English as well. There's other reasons for it. You can read it all right here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to hit you with this graph. On the left side is fiscal year 2022, fiscal year 2023 on the right. You saw this earlier with the bar, but just in case you didn't really believe that, this chart here should reinforce it. The red part is your TCG part, which was 36.5% of that pie. On the right, it is 46.6%. That is amazingly huge. Now, the reasons for that, again, Shadowverse Evolve. That's going to be something that they're going to look forward to in fiscal year 2024. But when I talk about concerns going forward, if you're those ivory tower people, Weiss Schwarz, in the upcoming quarter, it's going to be Dengeki Bunko. And I know from being over in Japan, you know from just the amount of people ripping this open, how many of Dengeki Bunko was actually sold. Maybe it's not Disney 100 level, but there was a fair amount of it sold. So if you're going to tell me about charts, if they're going to have to look out for major concerns with their TCG, especially with Weiss Schwarz, is that really going to happen in quarter one? I don't think so. I don't think we're quite there yet. We'll see what happens in December. I will show you this though. This is their stock, and this is a 1-year chart, just so you can see that things were going well. Things were moving all the way up, but you can see there's this drop off right around here. And that drop off happened on August 14th. That date should seem very familiar because that is the full year financial results posted on August 14th, 2023. You can see that drop off here. What happened to Bushiroad stock? It is not the TCGs, and just so you know, that is not a going concern at this point that I can see. What was going on here was more expenditures. Over here off to the left, they are talking about more advertising for My Go Bang Dream, the anime Shadowverse Evolve, right? R&D expenses increased due to increase in development and digital content. So they are putting out money. They're throwing out lots more money. So you have all these expenses here just growing, right? This is an expense chart, and what we have here is it is a lot bigger than all the other times. There was even more about impairment and all that. So here's a corporate flash as of November 14th, 2023. This is Bushiroad Issues financial report for first quarter of fiscal year 2024. What you're going to notice right away, year over year, if you don't like reading these things, is you're going to see negatives. Quarter of fiscal 2024 net sales down 6.1% year over year. Operating profit down 28.3%. Ordinary profit 35.1%. Profit attributable to owners of parent down 53.4%. We'll see what that turns out again, because even though overall stock took a hit, there is a lot more components that make up Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz being one of them, and we can see the TCG unit being a huge part of it. I highly doubt seeing Dengeki actually in quarter one that you could attribute a lot of the loss to that. So I will say I'm very disappointed in some of the stuff that I think back to with Weiss Schwarz, right? Like, I've been talking about this for 2.5 years, and it feels like there's not a lot that has totally changed. I felt like I knew with the boom happening that they would be able to allocate more resources, and they were. They were trying to hire more people. They were trying to make things better. Not everything has turned out worse, but for all those great things that happened, there's still a lot of stuff out there, that issues that I've talked about time and time again. that I've come out here and say, and I don't feel any sort of change. And I think part of that is because there's not a whole lot of other people that actually are talking about this, right? I'm just one man, and only one man that only so many people watch. There's plenty of other people out there that could be talking about this, but in the end, if you talk about this stuff in the way I do, I don't think you get a lot of praise from the parent company on it, right? If you haven't noticed, I'm starting to make less and less Weiss Schwarz videos. This is definitely on purpose. I think that someone like me, what I've been doing, and I've done a lot of videos, I've talked about problems, I've talked about the secondary market, which obviously Weiss Schwarz does not care about at all because of the booster box prices being as low as they are. It's still full force. We're going ahead with it. And again, it's because there's reasons for that secondary market, but in the end, they're just trying to sell product, and they've done a successful job at doing that. I'm disappointed with the fact that we are still here talking about the same thing 2.5 years later. So I will say, it gets really boring, really taxing on my soul on it. It is nice. Someone wrote a comment yesterday on my Pokemon video, one of my channel members. Again, thank you for your support. It was very therapeutic doing Pokemon videos just because I just felt filled with love when I was doing it. Just looking at the cards, all that good stuff. It reminded me of the good old days. Not that I don't like Weiss Schwarz, it's just it's been very apparent, and you could take this, what I'm about to say, any way you want it. Over the last 3 weeks, there are a lot of content creators that were featured, and those people make content. So even if I step away from making Weiss Schwarz videos, you can watch any of their content when it actually does come up. So again, take that whatever way you want to. I mean that in the nicest way possible. Hopefully, other people are more willing to actually talk about the bad stuff, knowing that if you talk about the bad stuff, you are probably not going to be seen in the greatest of light. And I knew that doing these videos, that was definitely going to happen to me. And I've definitely felt that over the last 2.5 years. So I do want to say, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, thanks to all of you out there that have supported me from day one or whenever you came in on this. I really do appreciate it. And I cannot tell you enough how much that actually makes me feel to see, awesome comments, no comments, just love, likes, and all that great stuff to get as many subscribers as I have gotten over this time period. It's very awesome to actually see that. I really do mean that, and I can't appreciate you enough. So even though this band of group of people that watch me, maybe we aren't felt as loved as other people are in the community. If you want to use that community word, I do appreciate you, and just know that I don't ever forget any of the names or the comments that have come up in the past. I really do appreciate all of you. So with that, I want to tell you one last thing. TCG Player is doing a store credit for Cyber Weekend, Black Friday and Cyber Weekend. I only point this out because if you are going to make any sort of purchase, make sure you do it in the time window from Friday, November 24th at 9 a.m. Eastern through Monday, November 27th. 10% back on all products. Pretty insane. If you're a subscriber, you get more, but whatever. 10% is pretty awesome for this, so make sure you go out there and do that. And if you are going to use TCG Player, I do have a link which is used for giveaways. The holiday giveaway is coming up. Again, I haven't done one in a while because I've been saving up the amount of money that I've been getting for the holidays because it hasn't been as much. What's been going on is because of the decline in TCGs, decline of Weiss Schwarz, people aren't using it as much, and I just wanted to have one nice holiday giveaway, wherever that leads us into 2024. Who knows? But right now, I'm focused on the holidays, and I want to make it at least somewhat decent for all of us. I think it'll be cool. My cat is meowing, so I think she's telling me this is over. If you need to reach me for any other reasons, please see the description down below. But as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.